are watching Pausing with Erik. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 281. Does might make right? In today's episode, we are talking about somewhat of a change in the spirit of our time. So I think a proper contextualization could be that since the Second World War, we have been used to one way in how we do things. So the Second World War was filled with atrocities, a lot of terrible things happening. And after that, it was like many people could agree upon that now we need to set this sort of order so that something terrible like this does not happen again. So a lot of focus was put on international organizations such as the UN. A lot of focus was put on diplomacy. And something called the rules-based world order was formed. That now we need to agree upon some decent rules, how we do things between peoples and between countries, so that we do not end up in this terrible place again. And now, however, some 80 years have passed, and now it would seem that the times are changing into something more resembling the saying, might makes right. So today we are looking at these two terms, might and right. And to our help, we have this wooden cube. Creativity. Creativity is a universal skill. It is a skill that is applicable in every and any situation. So wherever we find ourselves, we can make use of universal skill, creativity. This is an image or symbol for creativity. It's like two arrows, two circular half circular arrows, sort of meeting and pointing towards each other. So this is like dynamics of sorts that we will look at today. The dynamics of our creativity. We pause and observe what we have and what to do with it, and then do it. Creativity is how we choose to combine our outside and inside. Creativity. So what we will do today is we will sort of make use of this image in the case of might and right. Might makes right. Okay, so creativity is how we choose to combine our outside and inside. So, sort of recreating this image, but in the case of might and right, we might talk about an outside might and right and an inside might and right. And then we sort of point this arrow going both directions. So our outside might and right and our inside might and right. So outside is basically everything outside of our body. Here's outside for me, and inside is in here and in here. So what might be some examples of outside might and right now? Right now we are seeing the superpowers of the world, the great countries, the powerful countries. We are seeing them making more sort of authoritarian claims. We are seeing them saying that piece of land should be under our jurisdiction because so and so. And this would be an example of an outside example of the might makes right logic, in contrast to the rules-based world order we have known since past. Or at least some new forms of rules, some new ways in how things are done. What really is sovereignty? What really is cooperation? What is conflict? This is being sort of renegotiated now in our outside. So it might be easy to sort of be caught up in only the outside things happening. So we forget about the inside stuff. And all of us want to sort of find our place in this new might makes right dynamics in our world. But then we lose out on our creativity. Because our creativity is how we combine our outside and inside. It's this sort of dynamic. Like this. So what we do is that we pause and take a moment to just reflect upon, okay, this is might in the outside. Okay, for example, this country is sort of claiming this country's land or something like that. Okay, how does that sort of land, how does that sort of feel in my inside that they are doing that? And this can be made in a personal way, I guess, because inside of us, if we don't think about outside right now, then just inside for a moment. Inside of us, we have different sort of parts as well, competing. Oh, I should be like this, I shouldn't be like that. I should do like that unto him, but not unto him. Or this context is different from that context, so I feel like this inside. So I guess we have this sort of diplomacy of sorts inside of us as well. How should we be? How do we feel about things? So we pause and observe what we have. What do we have inside of us? And we might feel one way in our thoughts, or think like one way, and feel perhaps something else in our body. Perhaps our mind is cool and wants to, wait it out, but our body just wants to fight it out. Or maybe we have the opposite, that in our thoughts things are spinning and we feel very acute in our thoughts, but our body feels very heavy and depressed, very sort of paralyzed. Could also be the case. So we pause and see what we have, both inside and outside. And then what we want to do with it. Because oftentimes I think when things are changing in our outside, it's easy to make the mistake of thinking that we can change our inside just like that. That okay, the rules of the game have changed in the outside, so then I will change like that. But I'm not really sure that that's how it works. Sometimes I think the inside world moves slower than the outside world. And at other times the opposite is true, that our inside world wants to get going. Come on. And the outside world seems like nothing is happening. And creativity is all this sort of dynamics when we feel like it's going too fast in here and too slow there, or too fast out there and too slow in here. Creativity is all that stuff, how we choose to combine that. What really is might? Is it might to just take something? Is that mighty? Is that powerful to just take something? Perhaps, perhaps not. Is it mighty to go along with the outside might? Is that mighty in the inside? To just go along with whatever change is happening? Or is mighty to be sort of reluctant and skeptical? What really is might on the inside? Is might on the inside perhaps somewhat different from might on the outside? And right is perhaps even more difficult to sort of pinpoint what it is. Right long term, right short term, right mid term. Are we talking about material things, or are we talking about values and ideals? Do we want to sacrifice ourselves for something? Is there something more important than our own lives? Or is there not? Is our own lives the most precious thing there is that must be protected at all costs? Is it about survival? And then our last part. And then do it. So we observe what we have, what to do with it, and then do it. So that we do not just get stuck in observing stuff. Actually, acting, doing something. Saying, okay, I have reached my decision, and now I do it. Bam. So creativity is not only, thinking and stuff like that, or feeling. Creativity is also very active to do something. So that the arrows really become affecting arrows and not just, stagnant like this. Because if we never do anything, then the outside might and right and inside might and right becomes separated, isolated from each other. So we actually need to do something back to our outside. Might makes right. It will be a great adjustment on our part. It will be difficult to sort of, for all our lives, it's been like this the last 80 years since the Second World War. It's always been, this diplomacy, rules-based world order, very neat and proper, and bureaucracy, and this, sort of very organized way of life. And now it's more like for the taking, who's taking what, and, this sort of more chaotic time. So it will be very difficult to sort of adjust from very neat organization to more turbulence. So we will be very tired from this as well. It will demand a lot of us from our hearts. It will demand a lot of energy. So we pause creativity. We pause and observe what we have in the outside and in our inside. And then what we want to do with it. And then we do it, the arrows. So that the outside mite and the inside mite are affecting each other. And the outside right and the inside right does as well. So we get this nice flow. Nice breathing. Nice breathing. That's what we want. That's it for today. Thank you.